Federal and state governments in Nigeria have been advised to maintain a high level of accountability on every loan obtained for developmental projects in order to reduce the country's debt profile. Nigerians, in their reaction to the current debt profile, admitted that it has become an enormous burden for the country to bear. Correspondent Kunle Ojo sent in the report.
The Debt Management Office, DMO, in its debt report, stated that Nigeria's total public debt, federal and state government, hit 49.85 trillion naira at the end of the first quarter of 2023. The latest figure increased by 3.60 trillion naira from the sum of 46 trillion naira. The total public debt containing the external and domestic debt of the federal government, the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory was 49.85 trillion naira. To some Nigerians, this is a serious burden for the government and will in turn impact negatively on its ability to deliver on its numerous promises to the masses.
The previous administration has not been able to manage the debt profile, even when the former Minister of Finance, which was Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, who is now the WTO president, has consistently warned that our high-profile debt is going high. But it looks as if it takes the president's courage to make this kind of decision, unlike other previous administrations.
Not satisfied with the debt profile, President Bola Tinubu had a sideline of an event declared that Nigeria will no longer sustain an economic philosophy that ensures the wastage of 90% of its revenue on external debt service.
Rigorously thinking of investing in Nigeria must be a dream, but let's interrogate, how did we get here? The hardship, but can we continue to service external debts with over 90% of our revenue?
Reacting to the state of the country's debt profile, some Nigerians blame the development of the lack of focus and misplaced priorities by the leaders.
I think 2-3 days ago, I was able to make some inquiries. The exchange rate from the banks, $100, and that of the parallel market, the gap is still huge open. So it is something that the president should look into and see how it can be resolved. Because even the former CBN governor, Lamido Saniso, has consistently warned that somebody will go to the CBN and cross his leg in a garden with a bottle of juice, will just be making millions of naira.
Nothing but embezzlement, mismanagement. It's, when you seek for loan and you are not using the loan for infrastructures that will actually generate more revenue, definitely you keep going down in debt. You have to go for more.
If we actually have a good revenue, we can as well service our debt from it. When there is production, you understand, we can get enough revenue to be able to service the debt. But when there is no production in the country, there won't be enough to service the debt. You understand? And considering the height of the debt we have in this country, we're in very big shambles. You understand? So if we can be a productive country and the rate of our dollar right now, dollar to naira, can be managed, you understand, we can be able to get out of this big debt.
Respondents emphasized the need to focus on the consumption, investment, government expenditure, export and import economic indices. They emphasized the need to harmonize foreign exchange rates to ensure there is clarity in the markets. Aside this, they called for a high level of accountability for every loan obtained, noting that lack of accountability has been responsible for the country's high debt profile.
I think we should try and diversify, because during the early 80s we really know what cocoa was doing, and look at the philosophy of Obafemi Awolowo, where cocoa was like a big exporter in Nigeria.
One of the ways out is, number one, they should be held accountable. If any leader will have to take loan, if you take loan and you are not held, you should be able, that should be things as in tangible things that can be figured, that can be seen that the loan has been used on.
The government should be able to encourage small scale entrepreneurship, then invest more on industries. Meanwhile, all this money that is being generated from the removal of subsidy should be used to establish refinery.
Smartened from the step taken so far by Tinubu's administration to stabilize the economy, it is hope that the administration will continue to match words with actions towards putting the country's economy in the right shape.